Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Morgan, and today I'm going to be doing another fall tutorial, but instead of focusing on the oranges and the browns and the yellows, I'm going to do a little bit more with the cranberries and the plums and the purples. And the palette I'm actually going to be using today is the Berries and Cream palette from Dominique Cosmetics. So if you're interested in seeing how I creatively look using this palette, go ahead and keep on watching. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I did go ahead and prime my eyes using my e.l.f. Putty Primer. Again, this is in the shade Sand. Before I get started with the actual eye look though, it has been a while since I did my skincare routine with the moisturizer and everything. So I am going to go ahead and jump in and moisturize my face while I'm doing the eyes, just so it has a chance to sit and sink in. So I did go ahead and spray my face already with my Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. And what I'm going to do now is take my Fourth Ray Beauty Strawberry Face Milk, and I'm going to apply this to my face while I'm doing my eyeshadow. That way we can bring some of that moisture back in. And I'm just going to use the same IT Cosmetics star-shaped brush to apply this to my face. And I like this as a base as well to my foundation because it just adds all the hydration back in, and it goes on nice. It has a nice scent to it, but not too scented. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and jump into the eyeshadow look. Again, we're using the Berries and Cream palette by Dominique Cosmetics. If you haven't seen this palette before, I think she brought this out actually during fall. I don't think it was last year, but perhaps the year before that. And this is what the inside of the palette looks like. So as you can see, we have those nice, we have a nice blue shade, and then we also have these cranberries, purples, some nice browns in here as well. But again, we're going to be focusing kind of on this section here. So the cranberry shade, this purple one, and we'll maybe add some black in there as well. But this is what the palette looks like, and it comes with a nice mirror as well. So starting out, I'm just going to take a big fluffy crease brush. Any one will work. And I'm going to jump into my transition shade in this palette, which is going to be the shade called Soft and Sweet. This is what that one looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and just dip my brush in that and apply that to my transition area. And I'm going to go ahead and look down in the mirror in the palette, so that's why I'm looking down. And again, we're just applying this to the transition area of the eye, which is the space that's a little bit higher than the crease. And next up, I'm going to go in with this lilac-y purple shade called Bittersweet. And I'm just going to take a smaller crease brush. So this one just isn't as fluffy as the prior one we used. And I'm going to dip into that shade, tap off any excess, and then we are going to apply this shade into the actual crease area. And I'm just going to keep working that into our crease area. And once I have less on the brush, I'm going to start bringing it more upward, just to help blend in with that transition shade. So this is what Bittersweet is looking like after blending it into the crease area. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is take the same shade, Bittersweet, but this time I'm going to take it on a more flat, fluffy brush, if that makes sense. And I'm going to apply that to the outer corner of the eye. So now that we have the Bittersweet color on the outer corner of the eye, I'm going to go ahead and work on deepening the eye look up. And we're going to start doing that with the shade called Cherry Juice, which is this deeper cranberry shade here. And I'm taking a smudger brush. I like to use these to deepen up my outer corner. And I'm just going to tap it into the shadow, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to apply it right in this area, kind of in a C shape. And then I'm just going to use this to deepen up the outer corner to add some more depth to the look. Don't worry about blending right now. If it's not coming out the way you want, you can always go back in afterwards and blend it even more. Right now I'm more so focused on getting the color on, and then I'll worry about blending afterwards. If you feel like you need to blend the outer corners out here, go ahead and take the crease brush that you used for the bittersweet shade, the fluffier one, and just tap back into that just a little bit. You don't need a lot for this. Tap off any excess, and we're just going to go ahead and lightly start to blend that out on the outside here. And this will help fix any, harsh lines or any areas that aren't blending. Just flipping back to the little smudge brush that I used with that cherry juice shade. I'm just going to start blending again here on the outer corners, just to make sure we didn't lose that color when we were blending. So we just want to bring that back in. Perfect. So I think what we're going to do is continue to deepen it up. I know, we're going to take the black shade in the palette. This one is called Black Cherry. So it's just it's a matte black. There's no shimmer in it or anything like that. Using the same brush that we use for cherry juice, we're going to take this tiniest amount, and I mean like we're going to dip into it like that. Tap off the excess, and we're going to put this on the outermost portion of the eye again to keep adding depth to the eye look. And we just want to concentrate that on the outer corner, the outermost part. So once you feel like you have the amount of depth that you want for the look, kind of take a look at it, assess whether or not there's any blending that's needed. I'm going to go ahead and blend the blackout using the crease brush that we use for the bittersweet shade. And again, I'm not adding any extra product this time because I don't want to lose the black. I'm just going to take the brush, no extra product on it, and apply that to the outer corner. Again, just to help blend and make everything look seamless. Next, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut my crease. Now to cut my crease, I'm using a JH42 brush. So this is just a really small, flat brush. So I'm just taking my eyeshadow primer and I'm going to use this to apply a base down so that I can do my cut crease. Again, I kind of don't do like super harsh lines or super harsh cut creases. So it's up to you like how defined you want it to be. If you'd rather not have it be super defined at all, don't put a base down and go on to the next step. Or if you like it to be more crisp, go ahead and, grab a concealer or another eyeshadow base or something like that and, kind of trace out the shape that you want. Me, in this case, I'm only putting a base down because I want to make sure the next shadow is super pigmented and comes through. But it's not a necessary step, if that makes sense. With that base down, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of blend that into the shadow we already did. So again, I'm taking the flat, fluffy brush that we use for the shade Bittersweet, and just taking a little bit of it, again, not much, and I'm just going to use that to help blend the base back into the eyeshadow look, and kind of make sure there's not really any harsh edges, with that cut crease we did. And next what I'm going to do is take the white shade in the palette. It's called Sweet Cream, and that's what that looks like. Now this kind of has a bit of a pink undertone, so it's not like a stark white like it comes off on camera, but I'm going to use that and just apply that to the inner portion of the eye where we put the eyeshadow base. And again, it's a blending game, going back in with that flat, fluffy brush, taking more of that bittersweet shade, and I'm going to be putting that back in because I kind of overdid the white there. I'm thinking about keeping this look matte, but I think I'm actually going to add in a shimmer. So I'm going to take the cranberry shade here. Now this one is a shimmer, and I am going to take that on just a flat shader brush. My favorite is the BH Cosmetics one by It's My Ray Ray. And I'm going to apply this in this area, not to cover the lid, but kind of just right here. And I will tap this on and then swipe. So definitely a patting motion here. So off camera, I'm going to go ahead and apply mascara. I'm going to be using the Essence Lash Princess mascara. This is the waterproof formula. It seems to work best for me. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and then we'll come back, finish the lower lash line, and we'll get on to the rest of the face. So I'll be right back. I'm back with mascara on. So these are my natural lashes with the look. And I went ahead and applied a liner to my waterline. And I used my Fenty liner, of course, in the shade in Big Truffle. So this is just the brown matte one. And we're gonna go ahead and focus on the lower lash line, finishing off the look. And I'm gonna be using the brush we used, the fluffy flat brush that we used. And using the very kind of tip top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and tap into the bittersweet shade here. And we're gonna use this first on our lower lash line. And we're going to apply that all the way across. And next up, I'm going to go ahead and grab that shade Cherry Juice and kind of focus that one from the center of the eye out. So again, starting from the outer corner, bringing it in just slightly and carrying it all the way up and out. And then lastly, we're going to take a little bit of black cherry, again, just the littlest, the smallest amount, the littlest bit. And we're just going to apply that just to the outer portion of the eye. And be sure to connect that to the top lash line. Okay, so from here on out, we're going to go ahead and jump into the face. I'm going to speed this part up again just because I felt like the eye makeup took a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through this part, and I'll check you guys at the end. are done with the makeup look, y'all. This is how it turned out. I feel like the lip is coming off a little bit more berry toned on camera, but it's definitely kind of like a deep plum. So I'm hoping that when I'm editing this that it looks plum. But other than that, I really love the way this look came out. I think this is a good fall look, especially if you're into those plummy tones, for sure. Especially using this palette, I would recommend pretty much any other palettes from Dominique Cosmetics that are currently available. If there are any colors that you want to see for fall, go ahead and leave those down below. Also, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, all that jazz, and I will definitely catch y'all in my next one. Bye.